Maybe it's a Puerto Rican thing. It has to be a Puerto Rican thing.
Maybe.
Because
Welcome back to the Lidat podcast. As always, I am your host, Sam, joined by one of my nearest and dearest friends, and also co-host of the Lidat podcast, Jose Antonio Guerrero. This
that's
Mongol
that's my brother, you
eating,
fucking
oh shit, Mongol eating immigrant, right? Just let me give a quick little synopsis of what we're talking about today. I know this is a little bit more political than we have been doing recently. Excuse me about a sneeze. Oh, fuck. Excuse me.
God bless you.
Today we're talking about the Nikki Haley and Robert De Niro fiasco going on and how the last 24 hours might have been the worst 24 hours in political history. If you enjoy this type of content, please, 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 we appreciate every like. We appreciate every subscribe. I'll mention this thing at the end of the video. If you do make it to the end of it, you heard it this first time, you make it to the end of it, you heard it the second time, which means you're better. Because you're twice as better than number one, you know? There you go. But before we dive into that, Jose, how the hell you doing?
I have been amazing. How have you been? You still don't believe me on the whole gasoline poison thing, which is a pretty disturbing thing.
Yeah, gasoline poisoning. I mean, I'm not saying that gasoline poisoning can't be a thing. I just think that it's strange to randomly were you like drinking gasoline or something?
No, so basically, I was adding gasoline, but it's just the fumes, the smell. It's very toxic. It has a lot of like chemicals and stuff like that. So
Okay.
it spilled on my clothes, and then while the whole drive from Brooklyn all the way to my
Oh,
house,
you're smelling it. Okay. That makes
yeah.
sense.
So then bro, that thing just destroyed me. It killed
Okay.
me. Which, yeah, yes. So it is a fucking real thing. I googled it. I think it's just a PR thing where you people don't believe that stuff. I don't know. You're the second person that I heard that is like, oh, you're being dramatic. Like, no, that's a real thing.
Well, sorry about that. Did I interrupt the mustard? Can you still see me?
Yeah, I can still see you.
Sorry about that. I got a little claw going in there. Well, I mean, I never heard of gasoline poisoning, but I don't see why it wouldn't be a thing. I'm sure you
But
could get sick from any kind of fumes you intake if you take too much of it in. Uh, how was my day? Oh, thank you for asking. Let me tell you how
I
my day
did
was.
ask.
My day was long. It's been a little bit. My in-laws are on vacation, so I'm kind of not running the ship for their business, but definitely more involved than I usually would have been had they not gone on vacation in the first place. So I've been a little bit busy trying to get back in. So I'm also about to go to the gym. I worked out. I took their kids to the gym yesterday, so I'm really trying to kill them. 16 and 13, they're gonna die today. Today is the day to die.
It's gonna start.
They either die or their balls drop. One of those two things. So that's where I'm at with it, right? But now let's get straight into whatever's going on. Have you seen the Robert De Niro kind of rant?
No, I just saw the video that he came out of the courthouse. I think it was.
Okay. Well, let
And then
me let me pull it up for us right now so we can both see it together and let me know what you think about it. I also want the audience to see it a little bit too. So let's go right here. Let's go right here. Let's go right here. Let's go right here. Sure.
Downtown New York City. I grew up here. I feel at home in these streets. I feel comfortable. The Twin Towers fell just over here, just over there. This part of the city was like a ghost town. But we vowed we would not allow terrorists to change our way of life. And we started the Tribeca Festival to bring people back. I love this city. I love this city. I don't want to destroy it.
So you hear that in the background? He has hecklers.
Mhm.
People are on his ass. I think this person right here is. I'm not sure exactly who he is. I'm forgetting his name, but I do remember reading about him a little bit. Apparently, he's one of the. He's like a spokesman for like Biden and whatnot. I think his image is supposed to invoke the young because of the tattoos and open college shirt and whatnot.
Yeah,
Even
the
though he's old.
unemployed.
Yeah. Supposed to invoke the look. We're cool. We're hip, right? Now, but before we continue on to the video, I think it's ironic, right? Hold on, let me so people can see me. Let me just like cooking right here, quick. Let me stop sharing. I think it's ironic that you get Firstly, the president of the United States is 80 years old, 81
Mhm.
years old. Excuse me. He's 81 years old. Can't walk nowhere without the fear of tripping. Right. Can barely hold a speech. Every time he's done speaking, he looks to see where's the exit, to see where he's supposed to go. Right. And his idea to get people out for him to make him look good is to get someone else that's 80 years old that has a 10 month old baby.
Mhm.
Jose, does this sound like a genius political idea to you?
No, but it's politicians. I mean, you know all the weird stuff that they do to like appear cool.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing that's in my head. I don't really think Biden's running this ship, right?
Mhm.
I have to imagine there's someone intelligent in the background kind of running the whole system and whatnot. How the hell do you explain to me that your idea to have a spokesperson behind you or just to speak out against Trump is an 80-year-old man? Firstly, we're already dealing with two people that's damn near 80 years old for the election.
Mhm.
Then you get an actor. That's part one. You get an actor, right? Who's, in my opinion, glory days for movies are behind him, right? Uh, Two, this person is now 80 years old. He's younger than the president is running, right? He's 80 years old. And three, just had a 10-month-old baby. This is the guy you want people to just cape on and go, oh, if De Niro says it, we can't fuck with Trump. Trump, mind you, who just had a gigantic rally in the Bronx, in New York City. He was able to go to the Bronx and have lines just rapping around for people to come talk to him. And
Uh huh.
you the Democratic response is De Niro. Outside of the courtroom where Trump is getting fucking reamed right now by a judge and whatever.
I mean, I don't know what you want me to tell you. So, but what? It's like a bunch of like,
Doesn't sound smart to you.
it's a bunch of 60. Well, what is it? It's a bunch of like 60-year-old people sitting in a room deciding what to do. If you really think about it, you know all the weird stuff that they have done already to appear cool and hip. Wasn't Kamala Harris doing some weird stuff
But
the
De
other day?
Niro,
Yeah, but
you
like,
talking about this guy? Talking to me?
yeah, but in their,
Talking
you
to
just
me?
said De Niro's younger than him, right?
He's 80.
Okay,
He's
but
ancient.
in their minds, they're like, well, probably, he probably has some pull. I
Who
don't
is
know, bro.
who?
The fucking 70-year-olds, they're hip.
Listen, bro. Listen, bro.
I don't know what you want me to tell you. It's just a bunch of they're politicians BS, and they do nothing but like weird stuff to like relate to young people. You see all the weird stuff that they do. It's just weird. It's cringe.
I think they're doing anything right now. I think they're doing anything and everything they can. Well, let me lead this into another subject. Actually, let's go into let's listen to more of this video real quick because I love hearing Robert De Niro get heckled in New York City. No one was trying to hear nothing this guy was saying, bro. Like, why the fuck are you here? New Yorkers, stand up.
Donald Trump wants to destroy not only the city, but the country, and eventually he could destroy the world.
Fuck Joe Biden.
But we vowed we would not allow terrorists. I owe this city a lot.
mind you,
And that's
mind you, this guy reads script for a living, and he can barely read off the fucking notes they gave him right now. This is the guy they chose. They chose someone that can speak just a little bit better than Joe Biden to speak for. And I don't want to come across like I'm caping for fucking Trump, but holy, like
I mean, I don't know what you want me to tell you.
it feels like they want to just be idiotic. I'm not sure if they care. I'm not sure if they have someone that checks the tone of messages and whatnot. I'm not sure if this is more for, even though this guy's in New York. I'm not sure if this is more for LA. Like I'm trying to find a reasoning for why they allow this to happen. It's crazy. I'm actually gonna pick someone old. I'm gonna pick someone old as well. They could have used right here to if they wanted someone, right. Bill Maher ripping on Biden. I mean, ripping on Trump in New York it's probably a better look than having this old fart do this shit. Honestly, it's like you have some of these charming, funny people cared about outside of just their acting. At least Bill Maher has a semblance of a personality. This guy just looks angry at everything. I mean, I'm shut the fuck.
That's why it's so weird that Donald Trump is just across the street. Because he doesn't belong in my city.
Just
Your
across the
child
street.
needs these three.
Oh shit. Sorry, guys.
You gonna play more of it, or
We need subscribers so we can pay for
YouTube Brad? I think it's called.
Yeah, or whatever that shit's called. But yeah, I mean, he rambles on a bit more. I think he has some sort of argument with a New Yorker there. There's like, I think someone said like, "Yo, fuck you, you're corny, fuck you, movies, all that shit." Like they was going crazy at this guy. It was hilarious, right? Let me ask you this question. I want you to dive deep. I want you to use your noggin here. I want you to suck in all the nutrients and power from your body, even through this ghastly disease you have, and answer this question for me. Do you think the Democratic Party has something on De Niro? Like, do you think they have like something inside a closet? That's why he's using him so often.
I mean, he's already in court because of like some allegations that his assistant made. So he's already in court.
What's the allegations?
Basically like inappropriate conduct and abusing his power to, I don't know. It's like it's basically like I don't know how to. It's like SA. It's an abbreviation.
Okay.
I'm saying SA.
Yeah.
So it's like he's already in court. That's why I said I thought he was just coming out of the courthouse, but it was another fucking courthouse. But yeah, like he's under investigation for that. He already he was in trial recently. So like I don't think they have anything on him. I don't know. Maybe they just reached out. Maybe someone has a connection with him.
Okay, let me share this to you. I'm getting this from Rolling Stones, but this is in November 23. I'm not sure. Maybe you're talking about this.
Let me see.
But it's talking about let me
share. It's like a $12 million ex assistant.
$12 million. I saw 1. I'm seeing 1.2. Maybe it's the same thing. Let's see. So this is from Rolling Stone. I'm not sure if this is how true this is.
No,
so Robert Niro's company to pay $1.2 million to ex-assistant in gender discrimination suit. Graham Chase Robinson accused actor of sexist comments and conduct towards her. First, he's 80.
It's probably the same thing. Yeah,
he's 80 years old. I mean,
the article is a different number, but
he was born in 80 years ago. What is that, like 1930? Am I right? 80 years ago? About like 1930, right? Or somewhere on there. Who cares? But the verdict, a jury awarded Robert De Niro's former personal assistant $1.2 million on Thursday after finding that the actor's company was liable for gender discrimination and retaliation. Although De Niro was not found personally liable for the alleged abuse, the jury ordered his company, Canal Productions, to make two payments of $632,142 to Graham Chase Robinson per the American press. The verdict ends a 2-week-long trial that saw the killers of the Flower Moon Star and his girlfriend testify. During the second day of the stand, October 31st, De Niro admitted to berating Robinson and adding, "I've raised my voice. I don't yell. You want to dispute that? That's one thing I don't do via people." His girlfriend Tiffany Chen also told the jury she felt Robinson was in love with the actor. In emails she sent to De Niro that were presented in court, she described Robinson as a mean, insecure, territorial girl who thinks she's your wife. She also accused Robinson as allegedly having a demented imaginary intimacy with the actor. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the same work because it's back in 2023. My point is that he's already been on court for stuff, so I don't think they have anything. I mean, unless they have like some weird stuff, like
that's what I'm saying, like
Jeffrey Epstein stuff. But
I'm not going to put that on him. I'm not going to throw that. I'm not going to put that dirt on his jacket, right? But what I will say is this, right? He's been in the public eye for a very long time, very, very long time, right? He's been successful more than half of his life, correct? He's been an actor, at least, in movies for at least more than half of his life. If he's 80, he's been doing this shit for like 40 years. The thing is with these people, usually something always ends up popping up, right? Because any success you have, any let's say skeletons in the closet seem a lot worse when you are successful compared to when you are not. Example being, let's say a random Joe Schmo had yelled at an assistant at work or yelled at their wife at home or something. It's not as big of a deal in comparison to if a Robert De Niro or Johnny Depp would have done it. That becomes like national news. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm not even saying that De Niro did do that, but his actions and him stepping up for Biden as often as he does suggests to me that the Democratic Party probably has something on him. If
Mm-hmm.
not that, he really, really hates Trump. Which one do you think it is? They have something, or does he hate Trump with all his heart and soul?
I mean, I just think that he hates Trump. I mean, like, how many famous people do you know that are disconnected from like reality or like what's good for the country? They just listen to what Trump says and they just don't like it. Like, how many freaking like famous people do you know that are Democrats for no freaking reason, just because they want to be part of the people or something like that? You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like it's
like
just famous people.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
see.
just like how many every famous person that I've seen is always disconnected in from reality. I don't think it's anything special. I just think that someone reached out to him. They probably gave him some money. Maybe he's like, you know what, f him. I don't really care for him. I don't think it's. I don't think they have anything on him. Like you have to say it because like who cares? It's fucking Robert De Niro. No offense, but I'm not going for Robert De Niro for political advice. He's not The Rock. The Rock,
Exactly.
poor Rock. I mean, they probably have something on his ass.
Oh no, actually, he didn't he. I think he had mentioned that.
he's
I'm
not.
not
He's not.
sure.
He's not choosing sides this time. From what he
Yeah,
said.
I think he said something along that he shouldn't have said what he said last time too,
Yeah,
right?
he
Or
was like,
not?
shit. He was
So yeah,
like, damn, it was not worth it.
it was not worth it. Especially he has a very how can you say, like, American brand in terms of,
Shit.
you know what I mean? And I think it probably hurt him in a little bit. I think him going back to WWE and everything that's going on now probably helped him, but I think all that probably hurted him in the short run. Like, hey, whatever's going on here and there. I am really curious if they do have something on De Niro or not, because even then, I'm like, why does he hate Trump so much? Like, I understand Trump says some pretty wild things, and he can get off rail a little bit.
Uh-huh.
But even in Hollywood right now, or just even in New York, when I was over there last time, you can tell the temperature on Trump has changed a lot. People don't view Trump the exact same way they used to view him before.
Yeah, but Robert De Niro's not doing no research on politics, right? Like he's not researching policy or what did he actually say. Like, what? How many people hated Trump the first go around and they didn't know half of the things that he was doing for people?
Agreed. Yeah.
You know
Yes.
what I mean? Like,
But now,
they have a reason.
yeah. But now, here's my question. Now, though, like, to those same people, I think the main question is being thrust upon America. Excuse me. Is, are you better off now, or where you were 4 years ago, or however many years ago when Trump was in office, right? Like 2 years and then the 4 years, and like, is America better now or then? I mean, and this, to Trump's point again. I don't want to be caping for this individual. Everything they claimed this man was going to do, they did.
Mm-hmm.
Everything they claimed that this man was going to do, they did. They said he's going to start World War III. They said he was going to raise taxes.
Uh-huh.
They said he would never leave office. They said collusion with Russia or other foreign entities, and what Facebook was the reason he won the election.
Uh-huh.
Come on, bro.
Yes,
Come
but
on,
like
bro.
like the average person can see that there was an actual difference when Trump was in office, when he was gone financially. They probably saw a difference, right? Robert De Niro is living in a mansion. It's just like when I think like Kendall Jenner, one of the Jenners or Kardashians, was like, "Oh, quarantine is not that bad." Like, yeah, because you're living in a freaking mansion.
Yeah.
You don't notice anything. Like it doesn't affect you. Versus the average person that's out there actually going through stuff. Like I don't think he notices the difference. For him, what's the difference if freaking Biden gets elected or Trump gets elected? For someone like De Niro that has money like that, what's the difference? What does it matter? Like what
Yeah.
does it matter? It is like it doesn't matter. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know
Well, I mean, it doesn't.
he's not gonna see the difference. versus you and me.
Okay, yeah,
You know what I mean? Like it's not gonna
agreed, agreed,
like the guy's not gonna
agreed.
be like, oh my god, like for millionaires, like who gives a shit? For the Kardashians, like who cared?
I also think, and let me know what you think about this, right? I think once you hit a certain tax bracket, then you start to really care. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like it really affects you, right? Like for example, I own a home. Like home prices going up the way they're going now, or just in general. Like for anyone that's, I mean, I'm not old. I'm not an old man, but I know people my age, by and large, don't have a house. I know people my age and younger, by and large, could barely afford their rent, just in general. I happen to be fortunate in the circumstances that I am in, but I know, I mean, I don't know a single person my age that has a house. Maybe one, maybe. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe one other person that can actually get a house. I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people my age, or I know a lot of people my age in New York that either live with moms, or they have a roommate, or they can't get a place by themselves unless they move in with their girl or something,
Uh huh. Yeah.
right? So to those kind of people, I think they don't care. I think they're looking for any support they can get. Oh, you mean you can help me pay this, or you think you can help me pay that? What? I think for those kind of individuals, they're making decisions based off of that.
Yeah.
Right. I do think once you start once you start living by yourself, once you start uh able to, when you're able to, because in this distinction, right? There's a lot of people in New York that have cars, they can't afford to have their car,
Mm-hmm.
right? When you comes to a point where you can afford to have your car and gas goes up, which makes it a little more difficult for you to afford your car,
Uh
that's
huh.
very inconvenient. Very, very, very inconvenient. Right?
Mm-hmm.
When the national average for a McDonald's Big Mac national average was $3.99. New York is different because New York has insane taxes there on certain foods, but the national average was like what, $4 or $5. Now the average is what New York's average was just in general. So it went from the national average is super low to now the national average is New York's average, which is like $8-9.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a 50% jump.
Mm-hmm.
Right? These things like this, it the people like you or I that have a lot, that have some things that are worthwhile. We look at
Mm-hmm.
this like and go, "Oh, bro, you're shit." But people that don't have those exact same things, I do feel like they'll listen to a De Niro like, "Man, we need to get this guy out of here. He's gonna make things worse for us." Oh, and what is Biden gonna do for us? Oh, you mean student loan forgiveness? Trillions of billions of dollars in student loans that can just be forgiven for people that just want to be chefs.
Uh huh.
Oh, you talking about I can get more aid just in general? You mean I can afford more stuff now? Come on, bro. That's what that is. That's what that always has been. And unfortunately, we have a generation of people that's just going to fall for it. Recently, my least favorite people are college students. Oh my god.
Just a fucking hater. It's always the uneducated talking about college students.
Oh my
How
god,
dare
bro.
you?
Uneducated?
Yeah. How dare you?
Fucking bro, I'm telling you, bro.
That's
I've
what that ain't.
never, bro. I know high schoolers are smarter than college students. On God, bro. I know high schoolers are smarter than college students. The dumbest people. The thing is, because my girl's about to go into dental school, right? My girl's about to go into dental school. She brings people over to study. I have a whole office set up for her. Actually, we're in the office where I'm recording the podcast from. We have a whole office. We have desks, chairs, everything here ready to go. And it's a very stringent test. Like this test is going to take about like what 6 hours, I think. That's how long this test is. So you imagine that you need people with endurance, you need people with decent level of IQ, good memorization skills, very verbally agile and whatnot. But holy man, the amount of people I speak to, and like, you can just ask them a simple question, and you just, oh, bro, there's nothing behind those eyes. There's absolutely nothing behind those eyes. It's. But let me get away with that. Let me get away from that a little bit, right? Let me talk about. Now that I have shitted on the left, let me now proceed to shit on the right. Just so you guys can understand that I am unbiased. I am more independent in my views. Do I have some conservative values? Yes, I do. I have some conservative values because I am myself Christian. I go to church, not as often as I'd like to, but I go to church on a regular basis. Right, so I do have a lot. I do hold some conservative values. With that being said, I was raised in New York City. It would be impossible for me not to get, or it would be impossible for me not to absorb some democratic values. Like it's going to be impossible for that to happen, right? Uh, let's talk about Nikki Haley, right? Nikki Haley is the governor, or was the governor of South Carolina, I believe. I'm pull up her file, right? I think she's one of the first American Indians to win her race. She was also recently in the primary against Trump and whatnot. I think she was the last one to bow out after I think Trump won Iowa or Idaho, one of those states, something like that.
Uh-huh.
And she was trying to sustain there. No, I can win this. No, I can win this. No, I can win this. So I think she has some type of backing. I think there's someone behind her that's trying to back her up with, no, we need to get Trump out of here. I do believe that Democrats and Republicans are in cahoots sometimes to try to get another adversary out of the picture. Example, i.e., being Trump. I do believe there are Democrats and Republicans working together to try to get this guy out of here. But outside of that, and I do think that she was one of the pawns or figures being used or worked in that direction, the same way I believe Ron DeSantis was. I don't think. Excuse me. I don't believe Vivek was at all. I think Vivek was actually genuine, but I do believe Ron and Nikki were both being used to bring down Trump, and for whatever reason, right? But recently, Nikki, I believe, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this picture was in Israel or not, but let me pull up this article real quick. Give
I
me a
have the
sec.
picture. I'm pretty sure I can share right now.
Share the picture.
Yeah, I have two of them. So I think it's. Wait, can you see?
Yes, sir. I can barely see it. Let me see if I can
Better?
make it bigger. Oh,
So there I'm on. Why does it look like that?
let me see if I can get a better thing. Well,
Wait,
uh,
let me stop sharing.
okay, here we go. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So this is Nikki Haley right here,
Uh-huh.
right? And this is her. This is what she wrote. I'm not sure if you guys can read it or not, but if you guys can read it, I'll read it for you. It says, "Finish them, America, heart Israel always." And then she signs it Nikki Haley.
Uh-huh.
Now these are, I believe, these are warheads. Let me read the whole thing right now so people can understand. From former Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley wrote a clear message of support to the IDF on an artillery shell during a recent visit to Israel. Finish them. America loves Israel always. Haley wrote on a projectile. Pictures of Haley signing the artillery shell was posted on X by Danny Damon, a member of Israel's Knesset and Israel's former ambassador to the UN. The former United Nations ambassador in South Carolina governor is touring Israel, where she met with military leaders and survivors of the October 7th attack, where the Palestinian terror group killed 1,200 Israelis and took 240 people captive. Haley has been a staunch supporter of Israel's war, and her message also echoes similar sentiments she issued to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu days after the October 7th attacks, where she said that the attacks were not just an attack on Israel, but an attack on America, finished them at Netanyahu. She wrote on X at the time, they should have hell to pay for what they have done. Now, this last sentiment, when she wrote this on X, finished them Netanyahu. They should have hell to pay for what they just done. And that on Twitter, I want to distinguish this really, really clearly before people just bash her. I'm in agreement with this part right there. On Twitter, they should have hell to pay for what they just done. Is very distinctive. It's almost like pointing a finger at directly who's responsible for October 7th. people are not familiar, October 7th is one of the worst days in Israeli and just Jewish people history, where they were attacked by the terrorist group Hamas over there in Israel, where they killed 1,200 civilians, some of them being American, some of them being dual citizens from America and from Israel, right? And it's other people just being just foreigners as well, right? There was very, very, very violent videos going around, people getting their head cut off. And I mean, I don't really want to talk about this too much because I understand people make this hyper political, and you say anything that's contrary to what people believe, they just throw you under a bus, like, you know, whatever. Now, fuck that, bro. There is no way people get attacked. 1,200 civilians of yours get killed, and people tell you, but no, you have to behave though. It's fucking insane. Insane. When people, and I see what's this guy's name? He's not a Republican guy. He has like a girl name. He was talking about like, America is bad for dropping bombs on Japan. That we inherited some evil, bro. They killed like, was it 2,400 or 1,400, something like that, at Pearl Harbor, when they bombed Pearl Harbor, bro. This is the best way to think about it, right? Let's say your balls are the most fruitful balls in all of history of
Biggest
all people,
balls.
right? And you just birthed 1,200 babies, or you got 1,200 people pregnant or whatever. Now you have 1,200 of your kids, some teenagers, some adults, some babies, right? In your country, someone comes and kills 1,200 of your kids. What do you do? Do you just, oh man, I gotta really behave because look at the world, look how the world is gonna view me? Or do you burn the fucking world? Because I can understand the nuances with the situation and whatnot in regards to why you don't want Israel to do this back to the Palestinians and whatnot. But I look at myself. I have a mother. I have a baby sister. I have a girlfriend. I have another sister, another little sister. If someone were to touch them, there's no ends to what I would do to the person or people responsible or anyone in my way. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
But they need to behave. What do you mean behave? It's not like this group went into a country and killed 1,200 militants or 1,200 Israeli soldiers. That's not what they did. They killed 1,200 civilians, which means their goal was to kill people. Now, with all that being said, let me get back to shitting on Nikki here. This is not a good look to her. The initial message she had, completely fine with it. They should pay. When she says they, I imagine she is suggesting Hamas at this time, because that tweet was recent, right after the fact, that whatever happened on the 777.
Huh?
Now, when you are signing shells from America over there, and again, someone takes a picture of you and posts it when it's been months of this happening. I mean, from October 7th to now, it's how many months? October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. It's been 8 months, almost about to be 9 months since this whole situation happened. It's been 9 months. Obviously, things politically have swung. Obviously, there's more numbers coming out in regards to what Israel has done to what Hamas deems as kids. I think the UN already came out and said that a lot of Hamas numbers that they were getting were false. But regardless of that, you're sending shells that could potentially lead to the deaths of innocent civilians.
Mm-hmm.
As someone that just ran for president, is this not fucking retarded?
Okay, it is retarded. I mean, I was on. I think it was on her IG actually, because I was just checking. She took it down because she
Actually,
posted.
actually should. It was very dumb. It was very dumb to post in the first place. It was very dumb.
Yeah, she took it down. She had it on her IG, her signing the show. But I'm checking her stuff right now. And I'm like, oh shit, you took it down. Someone probably told her.
Holy, holy moly! And by the way, this shouldn't be received well from either side. This shouldn't be received well from Republicans. It shouldn't be received well from Democrats, because what we are talking about isn't strictly political. This is human lives we are talking about, right? And the thing is, people talk about Trump's temperament a lot. I think one of my favorite jokes from Shane Gillis, have you seen Shane Gillis's Netflix special?
No.
Oh, well, I'm gonna give one of the jokes, and to my audience, I'm gonna give one of the jokes. It was right after he killed Baghdadi, right? When they had a missile strike, killed him. He was like, Baghdadi, Baghdadi cried like a baby. I have a horrible Trump impersonation. Just know that Baghdadi, he died like a baby. We said, Baghdadi, don't cry. Dude. He had like a 40-minute speech right after they killed Baghdadi, and he ended ISIS and shit. And it was funny. You know what happened after? Nothing happened after. He killed a terrorist leader. That is very distinct from signing military shells, artillery that's going to go up, come down, blow up, and you have to hope it only kills the terrorists. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean. I get it. It's stupid.
This is the worst 24 hours I've ever seen politically.
But it's what I mean.
For both sides.
But it's what I told you. Like, very, very disconnected from, like, I don't know. I mean, what possessed this girl to just be like, yo, I'm posting this on IG?
That's the next problem I'm going through. So with De Niro, I think it's one of two things with De Niro. I believe it's either he has handlers because he messed up before. So now, no matter what happens to him, he has to align politically one way or another. Right? He can't flip sides till death. Right? I imagine, and I'm gonna make this call here. Right? Either more recently, things are gonna come out about De Niro after this whole thing. If not, then after he passes away, I'll bet money that something about this guy's nastiness in life is gonna come up. Guarantee it.
Yeah.
Oh, and the second option being he just really, 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 really hates Trump. That's the second option. I actually want to do more of a deep dive into his political speeches in general. I want to see what he said about Bush. I want to see what he just said politically throughout his entire career, or when he become active in politics as much as he has been recently.
But I feel like isn't that like a lot of celebrities have been more active politically?
No, but I understand why. So, for one, right? I understand why a lot of celebrities got more politically active when Obama was running. That just makes sense, right? I also understand why so many celebrities got active when Trump was trying to win re-election. They hated this guy, but that's a clear motivation. Okay. That's a very, very clear motivation. The thing is, if you would have picked this time, like 6 years ago under Trump, celebrities would have been behind Biden's ass crazy. Everyone's coming out the woodwork to support this guy. Right now, that's not happening. Right now, it's Robert De Niro. Okay. So now my question then becomes, okay, so I think LA or California understands, okay, he's probably going to lose. I think New York also understands, okay, he's probably going to lose. More and more celebrities on a regular basis coming out. We don't like this guy. Rappers are coming out on a regular basis. We don't like this guy either. Right? So I think for people to jump out the window to support Biden after his record as being president now, there has to be something else involved. It can't just strictly be because I hate Trump. Because regardless if you hated Trump or not, we weren't close to World War III. All you have been seeing since October 7th to now, or this October last year, is wars. People's consciousness on Ukraine and Israel is heightened to a level where it has never been in history in America. Ever.
Mm-hmm.
America has never cared about Israel and Ukraine as much as we have now. Or no, it's not even Israel. America has never cared this much about Gaza or Palestinians, just in general, until more recent history, right? So it's like I'm trying to find out why this guy's caping for this guy so much. I imagine a lot of actors and activists that supported Biden before in the past will not pop up this year. And so far, so far it's been correct. A lot of supporters aren't really riding with him. The Trump hate has died down. So why is De Niro doing this? Hold on, I'm moving away from Nikki real quick. Back to Nikki. Why is she doing this? That was the next question I was gonna send out. Why do you think she's doing this?
Haley.
Mm-hmm.
I think what it is I think that you put a lot more thought into their actions than I do when it comes to like politicians. Like I think that you think that they have like this master plan and they're thinking ahead and they're so connected they're in the ground. I think what it is they go, this is gonna be a really good picture. It's gonna show strength. It's gonna show that I'm for America. It's gonna show that I'm a badass. They post the picture and they go, shit, they didn't like it. They didn't like that I'm bombing people. Damn. Like I think that's what they goes. Because they're so disconnected to me that I'm like, yo, bro, like
No,
I'm
for
pretty
sure.
sure.
It can be disconnected. I think their actions can be disconnected from reality. But here's the way I look at it. Right. I'm gonna bring it back to Kendrick and Drake for a little bit, just so you can understand what I'm saying. Kendrick drops like that. Right. Kendrick, before this recent beef with Drake, on his last album, or no, the album before that, I think, Damn, he dropped the Heart Part 4. On the Heart Part 4, he disses, or allegedly disses, Drake and Big Sean. Big Sean kind of responds. I mean, now he's trying to say he never really responded. And Drake kind of responds, but not really. Not directly. In the same way that he did. Not in the same way. Like, Kendrick is king of doing, he'll give you a sub. He'll sub you in a song, but it's so clear that it's you, he might as well said your name.
Uh-huh.
Right? And then Drake avoided it for the most part. Right? Now, Kendrick did it again with recently, and I believe he has an album coming out. I think this shows a pattern of Kendrick is very conscious of the fact that he needs to sell albums. He's on Interscope Records for God's sake. Some of the biggest heavy hitters in music are on that album, that label. I think Lady Gaga's on there. I think Taylor Swift is on there. Eminem is on there. Some of the biggest selling artists of all time are on that label. So your job on this label is to sell records. Your job on this label is to find a way to market yourself in a way that you can sell records. Then when I listened to his diss tracks, he said, "Hey, this is supposed to be a friendly fade. It's not supposed to get personal." I do believe he planned for it to get personal. Like there's like a road, there's a middle road, and there's two ways this could have went, and he planned for both ways. I can tell that by the songs he then created or already had in the Rolodex and just added a bar or two here to make it seem relevant or make it seem like he wrote the song last night. Almost none of the songs he made were made the night before. He had these things just loaded up already. Like, let me know when you're ready. Let me know when you're ready. Let me know when you're ready. Imagine, I mean, damn, one of his best albums of all time. Imagine how Drake responded before the album came out. That's the album. He did what 600. I want to say 600, 678, 680,000 first week. If Drake would have responded to that to his initial diss track, the Hard Part 4, Kendrick would have sold $1 million first week. And now Drake did respond to Drake's point. The only reason you went number one is because of me. To Drake's point, this is partly true. I do think that Kendrick did drop a freaking banger, a heater, like one of the biggest songs he's ever going to drop in his career. But the attention that Drake drew to his songs was just immense. of course, having that kind of attention led to that, right? Now, I think politicians think this way as well. Politicians think, okay, or they can't afford not to think this way. But that's a better point to think about. A lot of rappers or artists that disappear pretty quickly. They disappear because they don't think ahead that way. I believe Drake thinks ahead that way. You can tell by the way that he, for example, he dropped with. Remember? Do you remember Freddie Wap?
Yeah.
Where's that guy at? What's the last song you heard from that guy?
No.
Exactly. But when this guy was the hottest thing in the world, he had like 3 or 4 songs. It was this. He had like 3 or 4 songs in a row. Drake jumped on one of those. Freddie Wap was out of here.
Uh-huh.
Drake jumped on with Future, the Migos, the Migos. He jumped on with what's that song? He's like, was a young black boy, something like that. He jumped on with Thugger. He jumped on with a lot of artists when they were about to hit their peak in their performance. So he's thinking ahead. He's thinking ahead in a way that's going to always keep him relevant, no matter what. Right?
Okay.
You think he's friends with he's friends with Yachty because he wants to be friends with Yachty? He's 37 years old. Yachty's like 24, 25, something like that. You think Yachty calls this man his best friend?
You don't think Drake fuck with Sexy Red?
You telling me Drake, who's I'm not sure how the relationship is now, Drake's and Nicki's, right? But you telling me Drake, who was signed to a label with Nicki Minaj, who's probably the best female rapper of all time, and could be in the top 10 for this generation, is definitely in the top 10 for this generation, maybe top 5 for this generation of rappers. You telling me that guy that can rap with that person jumps on song second grade?
I mean, he did it again. He was
But that's what I'm saying. The reason he's doing it, the reasoning behind it, is relevance.
Sexy Red is popping right now. He's popping right now. Yeah. Okay.
That's what I mean, right? So you can't afford. The reason I explain it this way because I think you're not the only person that thinks that people think this way. That, oh, I'm just going to do this because it's going to be heat. No, politicians can't afford to not think this way because then they disappear. They disappear. No one's going to talk about them. And these people's whole job is to maintain power and control their whole political career. Same way with rappers. It's only very, 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 very few rappers that can maintain the relevance. No one talks about Ludacris. No one talks about Nelly. Not that people don't love them. They don't talk about them in the same way. Like, hey, do you hear that new Nelly song? You hear that new Ludacris song? But they speak about Drake that way. They speak about Kendrick that way. Kendrick did it differently though. What Kendrick did was that he gave you big enough moments where it was unavoidable. You had to hear his album. He drops the Heart Part 4 before he drops Damn. He drops the Heart Part 5 where you can hear Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. He drops Like That. He drops They're Not Like Us. He drops Euphoria before you can hear whatever the title of his next album is about to be. He's giving you these moments so you have to tune in. I think politicians think the exact same way. I think Nikki Haley believed that showing support to Israel now in the future, whenever Trump's done in office, that she thought that she can jump on the bandwagon to then become the next president after Trump. Hey, look, remember me? Remember how I supported Israel throughout this whole thing? I think she was hoping that was going to.
So Trump supports Israel? Trump supports Israel?
Yeah. Trump is one of the biggest Israel supporters of all time, or presidents of all time. He moved the embassy to Jerusalem, which is the capital of Israel, which is majority Jewish people. He's had Netanyahu over at the White House a couple of times. I think Netanyahu also likes Trump a lot. I think right now the Biden administration wants to get rid of Netanyahu because Netanyahu refuses to listen to what the USA or what America wants them to do over there.
So the Republican Party are more like they're pro-Israel.
Depends because so I would say the Democratic Party is more pro-Palestinian than the Republican Party is more pro-Israel. Because you have two factions of the Republican Party, how you say that word? Isolationist? Basically, they want to be alone. They want to be isolated from the whole situation that's going on and whatnot,
like
right?
like America first type of.
Yeah. Sorry to hurt my dog. Sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry. No, because my point is, it's just like Nikki Haley doing this. I mean, it's exactly what I'm thinking. She thought. She thought I'm showing support for Israel because my party, the people that will vote for me, are in support of Israel. So she thought this was going to be a great look. I'm showing support, America. The whole shebang. Like that's what she's thinking. But I don't think because what she wrote, she wrote America X Israel.
Yeah.
Like
No, America hearts Israel, something like that. Right.
yeah,
So, like, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying, bro.
that's like
It's not
America. That's an
it's not a
American
good
thing to
look.
put bombs on stuff.
It's not a good look. Had she done this in the beginning, before Israel started really doing stuff over there, or yeah, Israel really started doing stuff over there in Gaza and then now Rafah, I think she probably would have garnered a lot more attention. I think she probably would have done better a little bit more in the polls throughout the whole issue and whatnot. I think now doing it so late in the game where things start to develop in the way they start to develop is not a good look at all. It's not a good look at all.
Because I bet like her advisors, because the Republican Party, from someone that is disconnected, will probably go like this, right? It'll be like, okay, we need to get a picture that supports that you're supporting Israel, right? So okay, Republicans, they like guns, Second Amendment, bombs. Okay, check. Okay, America, pen, heart, Israel. Ooh, fire. Okay, okay, you writing I love Israel, America bombs, Second Amendment, beautiful. That's what I think they're thinking. Like, yeah, we got him. That's some heat right there. You know what I mean? Like
I hear,
that's
what you're
what
saying.
they think.
I hear exactly what you're saying, dude. I agree
And,
with you.
and like liberals, what would be liberals? Okay, Palestine, babies, support babies,
Brown, being brown.
doctors, they need health, stop war. It's like I don't know. That's like a list. We need a picture that represents this. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
It's like there you go. Like that's how they
yeah.
go.
But here's the thing, bro. And this is what I'm trying to wrap my head around, right? With the leftists right now, I'm trying to understand this so much. Actually, I think no, I don't understand this at all.
But
When Ukraine got attacked by Russia, almost unanimously, bipartisan support to support Ukraine
okay,
through the issue, right? Israel gets attacked by Hamas, and now there's an issue. And
well,
what I suspect lefties would say is that yeah, but the preconditions for an event like this to happen were really laid decades ago by the Israelis, and when they whenever they first settled into Israel again after Nazi Germany and the wars that would rage after that, and now the open air prison. I believe that's what they would say,
uh,
but I believe that version of history is just one. It lacks a lot of nuance on certain details, and I mean, also another example would be whenever has a country won something, won a war, and then relinquished land after winning a war. It just doesn't happen,
yeah,
right?
but I guess with the whole like Russia Ukraine thing, it's like okay, there's a superpower attacking a smaller country, and there's the videos of self defense. They're protecting themselves. There's like the big aggressor, right? When it comes
Yeah.
to Israel right now, I don't know if you have seen it or like I felt it, but there's a lot of like anti-Jewish sentiment going around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So they're seen as the big greedy bad guys who are playing victim still because of what happened and yada yada yada. Like that's how they see it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I see what you're saying. No, no,
So it's
no,
like
no. And I definitely hear you. I mean, I just think that
I don't think it's right, but like I'm just
listen,
saying
bro.
how they see it.
I took notes. Everyone that posted All Eyes on Rafa recently, like I think 22 million people posted it. I've been seeing on my Instagram. Just know I know exactly who posted it, and I think all you guys are morons.
I don't know what the hell that meant.
I think you guys don't know what you're posting. I think you guys don't know the history. I don't think you guys have even attempted to know the history. I don't think that. I mean, bro, there's people that I know personally that I have had personal close relationships with, or currently have personal relationships with, and I know they don't know what to talk about. They're just posting stuff. It's like the black square all over again from 2020.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what it is.
yeah, I mean, it's just like when I see a lot of like people in New York posting, like no offense, it's like I know you don't really care. Like you're seeing people dying, and that's very sad. And I know that you don't want that to happen. So you are picking the side that is seen as in the defensive, which is Palestine or I'm saying in New
Yeah.
York, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, well, we don't want genocide, but they don't sit at home after work and be like, let me do some research on this.
Yes,
Let
that's
me
what I'm
see what's
saying.
actually going on.
Like,
They
what
just
led up to
see,
this?
yeah, they just see a country completely being devastated by war and men and women dying and yada yada yada, and they show support for that. They're not really educated on the topic, bro. It's just like I think there was a video of someone they went to one of the protests and they were like asking them like basic questions, and they were like, "What does this mean? Why are you saying this? Do you know what this means?" And they're like, "Nah,
Oh,
nah."
you know where they went to a college.
Yeah,
What was
but
it? What? I'm pretty sure that college is UCLA, which is like one of the best colleges you can go to in California.
or like there was another one in this college in New York. It's in the city. It's Washington Square. It's in New York. NYU.
NYU.
Yeah, that's another one there. But like, bro, come on, like you're talking about people that worry about just salads and
That's what I'm
uh,
saying, bro. It's like
you're worrying about paying fucking rent. You're worrying about freaking. You're not
you.
care about
And,
it.
and this is go just to go back. I'm gonna close out with the Drake and Kenny kind of situation. You know how many people I spoke to about the beef that picked a side and had no information on the
Oh,
beef, where it started, how it started, why they hated each other in the first place.
hey,
Man, there was so many people I spoke to. Yeah, I mean, I got hit up by like at least 50 people. I had to send them all a comprehensive list of why the beef started, where it was, who's winning, and whatnot. What's that?
I don't know. I don't know why the fuck the beef started. I just liked it. I just like Kendrick because I was like, damn, I like his songs a lot more than Drake's. You know what I mean? That's why like
Yeah.
there was just one other person. That's another person that I whatever that I talked to that listens to like was listening to the whole Drake and Kendrick thing, but we didn't know. Like me and her didn't know what the fuck why they were beefing. We were just like, yo, I like. She doesn't like Euphoria for some reason, which is weird. She thinks it's the worst one. But I was like,
Stop being friends with her.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
tell her you said that. No,
stop.
but I think it's because Euphoria starts slow, but she likes not like that in the other ones a lot more. But I'm like that probably because they're faster paced. I don't think you're like whatever. I don't know. It's just it's another PR thing. You guys are slow. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But my point is, I didn't know the beef. I just like Kendrick's songs a lot more, and that's why I was like he won. That's it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna dive deeper into it. I think it wasn't even close. I mean, I think they both had winning hands. I think Drake had the better hand, and Kendrick got this guy to fuck up with the better hand. The guaranteed Drake had the guaranteed victory hand, and he lost, which is insane to me. I used to think Drake was like smart.
Damn, like
No, I'm serious. I used to think he was smart. Now I think he's more witty. Like he's witty. He's clever. He is petty. But I used to think he was smart. I thought he mapped out. I thought he used to map out situations in the same way I think politicians do. Right. But this beef showed me that no, he does not. He was not prepared for everything to happen. He was not. And
yeah,
Kendrick clearly was more prepared than he was.
yeah, he
Way
was.
more prepared. But yeah, man. Uh, now we've reached the end of the video. I said I was going to mention it twice. If you made it this far, you have to leave a like. You have. We gave you an hour of our time, an hour of our speech, our spit, our ritual. Blah blah blah. Blah. You have to give us a like. You have to leave us a comment. Subscribe to this shit if you're here and you're brand new. Share it to people do you think will enjoy this. Share it to those people. I'm gonna let this Guerrero guy here give us the last closing comment.
I have no fucking comments. Do not smell gasoline. It will knock you out for a week, and that's my only comment. I don't know what to tell you.
All right, man. We appreciate you guys a lot. Again, this has been a Lidat podcast.
All
See
right,
ya.
peace.